Well, let's take care of this little guy. He could be a partly rotten fence picket that there's very little left of now. Or he could be a stump. Most likely in this direction. Maybe this fence used to continue. I don't know. But I'm going to stay away from these colors. I'm going to go with this. And this is just raw umber and white. It's just one of those little chores. I'm going to finish it up. Excuse me. I'm gonna put it in the shade though. I don't want that to be important. Doesn't mean it catches no light, it just means it catches very little light. It's just an object. You know, it's probably part of a UFO that crashed and burned here. I wish all the objects in the painting could be finished that quickly. Okay. That's better. And how's my value there? It's higher, I'm sure it is. I want it to be. Okay. It's a little too high. But I wanted to raise the value a little bit, just along this line from here to here. More definition of distance. More indication of distance. More suggestion of distance. More distance in the distance. Okay. Just give my knife a quick wipe here. I've left a ridge of paint, which I don't want to leave, not right there. Now let's cut into some of this stuff so that we make what I just did feel more at home. Okay. Okay, I think we'll leave it at that. But again, that's better. I'd like to keep the underside of this fairly airy. So, that's what I'm going to do. And one of the things that will be necessary for me to achieve that is getting rid of this little guy, this little trunk. Little mixtures of ultramarine blue and alizarin crimson and a little bit of yellow ochre. You know, keeping it reasonably muted, using one color to mute the other, sort of thing. You know, just generally blending in. Thankfully I don't have to match the colors precisely. Just have to approximate them. And that is what we'll do. Oops, it's pretty high on the value there. Yeah, no worries. There, edge of a bush. The tree was just washed in, so I was able to go over it reasonably cleanly. You know it was there, but the final viewer will not. Because I cleaned up my edges, you know? Didn't leave ridges when I painted around it, if you know what I mean. We'll leave this one in. Okay, that's better. So while we're in the business of negating some foreground forms with this muted background paint, that's a bit light. You know, I might just touch that with a hint of raw umber. Sorry, I know my head's jumping in front of you now and then. I'm sure you'll be fine. Please forgive me. There, not even going to worry about matching that too much. Until yeah, that's a little. That actually went pretty green. Add a hint of alizarin crimson to that. Where are we under there? Okay, we'll use some of that here as well. I've gone in with some wet paint to re-outline, to narrow that branch. So I know I'm pushing my luck. I'll throw a little burnt sienna in there. And burnt sienna, and I will add a little bit of alizarin crimson to that burnt sienna. And we'll go to low in value. So many little dribs and drabs, but I do enjoy it because, yep, it's kind of a pain. It's a bit of a nuisance simply because of the fact that you don't always get all your strokes right the first time. It's okay. I suffer no remorse. I stand on my decisions, right or wrong. Okay, the reason I did this, the reason I'm let's say fixing this little oddity here. Oops. Okay, getting too fussy. Is because we had this little branch with a hook in it and then going up, and then this one going down of all things, and then with a hook up in it, which would be fine if the rest of the painting had a lot of it. Let me back up a minute here. Whoops. But the rest of the painting does not. This is a bit of an anomaly. I don't mind that, but I don't think I want to have these two hooks. It looks too scary. It looks too much like one of those, you know those inflatable tubes? It's like thin tent nylon. What do they call it? A Gumby? Or something that they have in front of car lots that they inflate with a fan and it just kind of waves around in the air trying to get people's attention. That's what this looked like. Sorry, it had to go. Anyway, that's better. All right. Let's revisit this area that I was whining about and put some actual light on it and be maybe a little bit unafraid for a change. It might be a bit intense. Let's extend it onto the bottom of that branch, or the top of that branch rather, sorry. And a hint of it there. Whoops, let me use my finger brush or my finger knife to tone it down a tad. Finger knife comes in handy now and then. Sometimes it's a finger brush, but you know what I mean. Let's even duck below this branch a little bit. Finger brush again. It's my right-handed finger brush. Okay, that tree already has some more life. It's almost in competition with the tree that I have off to the right. And I do want to be wary or leery of that, because we don't want that. Whoops, got a little too excited there. Okay. Wipe the knife. You know, I think that what I might do, let's use the toilet paper knife here for a moment. I don't want to eradicate it, I just want to tone it down a little where I've gotten a little too carried away. I have a lot of texture on that brush already, as you can see, or on that branch already, so it's making it a little more difficult to do a good job of putting light on it. Probably doing something I don't have to, but I just like it better. All right. Really got to do some backing up on this one. Yeah, you know, I've got a little too light now. Just a little too light. So, what do? Well, we make it darker. I don't want to try to remove more. I'm just going to cut in with lower value. Let's see what I can do here. Holding breath must survive. Oh, it's getting weaker. It's getting weaker. You know, I'm having a lot of trouble with this little spot. Well, I don't need to tell you that, you can see. I mean, I am taking you along for the torture after all. And boy do I clean my wife. Boy do I clean my knife on a regular basis when I'm doing this kind of thing. Because if you don't, you will lose control of what's going on. You'll start getting pretty mad at yourself. Okay, you know, I'm leaving it. I am leaving it. Almost. I really don't like areas that don't seem to have any texture to them. And you know, texture is just a matter of making the paint application a little irregular. That went too blue. Did that last time too. Some of you are probably yelling at me right now. Just leave it alone. My goodness. You're going to kill it. And if you are yelling right now, you are right. So I will humble myself and I will obey you. But you know what? It may not be completely done, but that's better. Well, I tend to believe that this old dead standing tree will be in the shade of this one. I'd contemplated putting light on here. But there was going to be, you know, a series of trees that are catching light and then suddenly another one. And then we go to these browns and no, I don't want that. I like this silhouette look better than anything. So that's what we'll do. So we're into the ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. But we need to have a little bit of white on there. We really do. Mostly ultramarine blue here. I don't want it to be so blue that it stands out. Higher chroma, even though it's dark, but I don't want too much attention paid to it. I don't think that would be wise. Slow, careful brush strokes. And even then, boy, do I screw up plenty. Brush strokes. I always say brush strokes. Knife strokes. Sorry about that. My humblest apologies. Okay. I think that's looking okay. Oops, finger brush or finger knife. Yeah, I like that. Partly because it behaves more in a supportive role than as a lead actor. Okay, I did a faux pas. I made a faux pas. I just kind of went over the edge there a bit. So I used my finger knife to wipe it off and my actual knife to lay it back on. I think that's enough. I think I should leave it. It's loose, it's fine. You know what? That's better. Okay, I've just backed the camera off so that you can put things in context a little bit. Hopefully you can see from there. This little, you know, it's like a little wart on your face, you want it gone. It's still there, it still performs the function, not much. I didn't want this catching a lot of light because I would have ended up with this perfect little area with light, and the whole thing in general would have been very centered. So I wanted this to stand separate from this. This stands on its own, in a way, in a manner of thinking. I wanted this in the dark. This had been just washed in, and I sat back and looked at it for a while and felt, yeah, you know, I want to leave this as a silhouette. Very plausible. It's in the shadow of this large tree here. You know, small changes. This one stick I had here, well, you know, I could have put more branches. Do I want more detail? No. What I want is that feeling of being able to look through these trunks, you know, into the distance. And I felt that, really, that was a bit of clutter. Not necessary. And since I did this, I did a little more work on it. I like this better now. It's just catching light, you know, from here to here sort of thing. Which staggers, you know, it's not on the same level as this one, which is lower down in the tree. Then we have our light coming up from the upper left down to the lower right, and a little bit behind us, so that works. This little blob that I had here, that was originally going to be just a branch still curling up from this tree. No, you know what? This opens the painting up a little bit more. It asserts the fact that this is further away than this is. Gives it strength. So there are so many more things that I'm going to do to it. I know I've tortured you with a lot of them today. But they're necessary. You know, still haven't done this. Oh, there are so many things to go. But when I look at the painting now as a whole, that's better.